outcome as well.
Yeah.
It's Chelsea Heights. It's pretty quick. It's pretty close by. You know.
Yeah, friends are arms.
All right, good. That was awesome. Anyway, what's up, everybody, and welcome to All for Footy, the AFL podcast where good friends gather and gab about last week's games, this week's games, and everything in between. You can follow us on Rumble, Spotify, and YouTube, so go please like, comment, and subscribe. I'm your host, Mr. Nathan, Mr. 9 out of 9, Norman, joined by the Big Daddy himself, Dan, Raby.
Mr. Milton Nathan Norman, my feathered friend.
Not feathered.
I just look forward to hearing about all your footy tipping action on the weekend. And what a pleasure it is to be here with you. Really hope you had a good weekend on the tips, like a lot of people out there. It was quite an easy week.
Yeah, you should put your hands in between your face and the microphone,
and,
yeah.
Oh, well, you know, look, I'm just covering myself. I only got 4 tips this week, so I'm a bit ashamed. But, yeah, so it was quite a week for the tipsters out there, and I'm sure you cashed in, Mr. 9 out of 9.
You know I did. But also joining us in the third spot, it's the man of steel, Steelo.
Oh, hey, I'm Big Hip.
That's it. That's me, the Big Hip. That's what they call
all
me.
The fans. Great to see you again for a big round. We've finally got footy back with 9 games. So it was so good. Can't wait to unpack it, boys.
It's
a big round.
Good. It's going to be good. So let's, without further ado, before we get into it, ladder predictions. Everybody's in. Everybody's locked in. We've got 13 people in the comp this year instead of the 3 from last year. And I'm defending my title. So Step off, yeah? Step off. So, yeah.
More importantly, the tips.
Hey, we get the tips after this week's games. You know that. We've been doing this. This is the 4th year. This is the 4th year, and you want to talk about tips now?
Well, I do.
Well, I'm very confident on my ladder prediction. Before we move on from that, I'm extremely confident with my ladder predictions this year. I think it's going to be a tight race, though. A lot of people are putting in pretty similar looking ladders, but definitely there's always going to be at least 3 or 4 teams that are different.
I think you'd be surprised. Like a lot of people.
We're going to lose a lot of people early, probably by round 8. There'll be a lot of stories. But I'll keep one eye on it.
Hey, look, we'll all be keeping an eye on it. And maybe halfway through, we're going to do a thing where we can swap 2 teams' positions.
Well, yeah, we might need to because I had the Cats a little bit low, and after the weekend,
How dare you? But without further ado, let's get into last week's games. All right, it was Thursday night football at the G. Richmond versus Carlton. Richmond 13-4-82. Carlton 9-15-69. Nice. It was Richmond by 13 points in massive upset. Probably the biggest opening round upset ever, or round 1 upset ever. Don't you think, Reeves?
Oh, look, I was just absolutely humbled. I thought the effort from the Richmond players round 1 first up. You know, you just didn't see it coming. All pre-season, Carlton getting spruiked. You know, how far Carlton, they're up by 40 points. You're just thinking, this is it. And then what the hell? Richmond just flipped the script, played really good footy, and hats off to the couple of debuters there. I'm a bit speechless actually because had the Richmond top on that night, and watching it with Hawke, passionate Carlton supporter, he was not happy at all, and neither was any other Carlton supporter. And
Steelo.
But that's where you can leave it, isn't it? I mean, you don't know whether to ride into it too much on Carlton's end, or is this the end of their little run? I mean, they've actually only won 2 of their last 13 games, and they've been against North Melbourne and West Coast. So
that's bad.
It's actually, and now Richmond. They've added to their loss, but very, very concerning down at Carlton. I think, we can't gloss over it. It's the game style. It's almost the coaching. It's, they're just not getting led in the right game style to keep up with these teams that are just slingshotting, 9 goals from defence. And that's up there with Geelong on the weekend, so... and we wouldn't put Richmond in that boat a lot, so...
No.
Yes, it's very concerning for Carlton. And playing Hawthorn this week, watch out. Yeah, they're going to have to pull something out.
There's going to be something happening, that's for damn sure.
That'll be a real awakening.
But yeah, no, I loved it. I loved seeing Dave Hughes and his TikTok, because he was at the game. And he did like a little TikTok thing where he was just like, we just lost to a team.
He looked pretty sad, didn't he?
That wasn't even meant to win a game this year.
Are you a Hughesy fan?
I'm like, yes. No, I'm the opposite of a Hughesy fan. So I enjoyed that little TikTok.
Funny to see.
So that was fun for me. And also, if you go to the Carlton Facebook page, go to their comment section, hilarious. It's a good read, I'm telling you.
Oh.
No.
It didn't take long on SCN on straight after the game. They were ringing up, calling for Bossy's head. So they were all over it as soon as the siren went.
I don't
think
just blame
not
them this
happy.
time. They were microwaving memberships, but now, yeah, all right, I get it now. I've just jumped the shark a bit. Steelo.
Yeah, credit. Yeah. There's all that, but then credit to Richmond as well. All the youngsters, those guys looked incredible. Just the rookies, and yeah, they're just playing out of their skin. Like they look like they got some talent, and it's finally coming good again with the rebuild. They looked terrible last year, but people wanted to come for Uze's head, and now they've responded for him. So.
Yeah,
maybe you don't need aura, maybe you don't need a massive aura, he's just got the chilled aura, and it's getting through to the boys, and the youngsters like it, and they're going to take hold. They'll probably build some leadership.
Yeah, Tigers fans can only hope, but I'm not a Tigers fan, so don't.
If I know one thing, I know Vossi will absolutely rip into the Carlton players. He'll be training them hard this week. He'll be making sure they know every single thing, every single area that they went wrong in the match, and analyse it heavily. So yeah.
Yeah, well, I think they'll
be doing suicides at training. I think.
I think the blame lays fairly at Vossi's feet for their continued performance. Ugh, yikes. All right, well, let's move on to Friday night football. Also at the G, it's Hawthorn versus Essendon. Hawthorn 17-9, 111. To Essendon, 12-13, 85. Hawthorn by 26 points. I thought for a moment there Essendon had a chance, don't you, Steelo?
Man, yeah, almost tipped Essendon, and they almost looked like it. They're looking like they're getting together. Yeah, not sure. I think this match played out sort of how I was expecting it to.
Yeah, just Essendon had a quick jump on Hawthorn at the beginning, and then Hawthorn just kicked away. But Hawthorn's lead, to Essendon's credit, it was never more than like a few goals. I think Essendon did fight to stay in it the whole way through, up until like the last quarter. You thought like they could possibly do it.
Yeah, I think the 6-1 in the first quarter, that sealed the game for Hawks, didn't it? Because they ended up winning by 5 goals.
Essendon jumped him with that first goal, and then bam, 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 and then
what's the first goal, wasn't it?
Constant Essendon just within reach, but
it's impressive. Essendon played not too bad. Caldwell was fantastic on the day, and Nick Martin and McGrath and a handful of the Bombers players had really big days. But the Hawks just get it done across the board, don't they? With their handful of goal scorers. Their small forwards are really starting to dominate games now, and Ginnivan's always getting a couple. And, obviously,
a wizard.
Wow, the Wizard as well. But I was definitely more thinking of Moore. He had a ripper day, and if it's not one of them, it's another one. You know, there's a handful of them that can just have BOP days. Last week it was Sam Day, and
Will do.
Will Day. There we go. Yeah, but yeah, the Hawks are quite impressive at the moment. I think they're just really buying into a game style and did the damage early.
Do you think we're buying into the Hawthorn Kool-Aid a bit too early?
Hard not to at the moment. I mean, they're winning. Like, if you put
second,
Carlton's track record against Hawthorn's last 13, 14 games, they're knocking them out off the park. It's like all the stats and wins. So, really, they're in form. Bloody hot form. And they're playing Carlton this week, which, what a test.
Yeah, you got to think got to think it's going to be a bad day for Carlton. Or night, actually. I don't know when that game is.
I mean, yeah, last year Hawks beat them pretty easy late in the season. But, yeah, I'm sure Carlton will have a trick up their sleeve. They're going to be pretty hungry.
Yeah, no, for sure.
They'll be getting a few rockets this week from the coach, Mossy. Oof.
I think Essendon's got
rockets of his own.
Yeah, well, yeah, he'll be sending them, but he'll be probably... Oh, it's just all going on at Carlton. They're just... It's pretty turmoil.
They're having a good time over there. They've got to react drastically.
Instead of it being lattes down Largon Street, it's missiles down Largon.
Down Margon.
But still kebabs down like either way.
Kebabs on tap.
Yeah, but like now it's just missiles instead of copies as much.
Fair enough. Well, let's move on to the next game, shall we? It is Saturday football at GMHBA Stadium. It is Geelong versus Fremantle. Geelong 23-9, 147 to Fremantle 10-9, 69. Nice. Geelong by 78 points. Reeves.
Not happy.
Not happy?
Tip Freo.
69 though. Got to be happy with that.
The margin is good, but yeah, tip Freo. I just really thought they'd pull in a real good effort here, and Geelong, like in the game before, they got off to a huge start. Just dominated early, and it was way too far for Freo to ever come back. But well played, Geelong. I mean, hats off to them. I mean, all the stars play well straight away in the season. Fit, had pre-seasons. Very dangerous signs for the competition. You know, Paddy Dangerfield, especially in Cameron, and you know they're already kicking a couple of goals. And I mean, they're going to get almost rested a little bit during the year. These sort of guys, just to be managed, to be peaking in September. You know, that's Geelong's attitude, and I really like it.
Yeah.
A lot to like there. And their youngsters coming through. I mean, they had a few of them on the weekend. They were only 21-year-olds who were coming in, getting a chance. And there's Davis,
they're
maybe.
always blooding their youngins.
One of the two of their youngins. They love a good youngster.
They love to blood them.
They do, and they're getting them in to go with their senior blokes. They have a real good balance at the moment, I think, Geelong.
Yeah.
So, yeah, they're in good shape by the looks of things.
Yeah, and Bailey Smith had a good debut.
And Bailey Smith, I was going to mention him. He had a good day. Yes, he really looked very good. He looked fantastic.
He did. He really looked good. And, you know, good on him. Good on him.
How did you see the game there, Steelo?
Yes. Which game was that, sorry?
We
were down in Geelong.
Geelong's won, yeah. Yeah, no, they absolutely crushed Freo. Sad to see it, mate. Yeah, Freo.
You?
Doesn't feel like a game we're on, this fucking guy.
He's just thinking about the Brizzy.
I don't know what he's thinking about.
Yeah, man. My mind's always on Brisbane.
I suppose at that point, when the Geelong game was on, it was pre-game for Brizzy. So you were just fully focused on Sydney's lineup.
Pretty well. I didn't manage to watch this game, to be honest.
Anyway, clearly Steelo doesn't give a fuck, so let's move on to the next game, shall we? The game he does give a fuck about. He gives many fucks about. It is...
Well, go Cats. Go Cats, anyway.
It is Saturday football at the SCG. Sydney versus Brisbane. Sydney 12-10-82 to Brisbane 12-14-86. Brisbane by 4 points in a barn burner.
Barn burner.
This is what the grand final should have been, don't you think, Steelo?
Oh yeah, it was just as good as the granny.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
If you read between the lines, without any of the same feeling, obviously nowhere near the same atmosphere, but the match was a tight match, and some of the players were taking it seriously. That's for sure. If the Lions didn't want to win it, they wouldn't have, but they just knuckled down, mate, and they got to it, and they just put together, at least 10 minutes of that premiership football that got them to where they were last year. That finals level football, they just managed to do it in the last quarter for at least 5 minutes, and just took over and managed to get the job done. But it could have gone either way there, and it would have been a different narrative. But no, I think it's really good for the Lions to get that early win over the Swannies again, and just prove that they're serious this year, and not give the Swans anything. It's great.
Well, you gave them a close game. I think they saved face as opposed to the grand final last year.
But it was a great effort. They played really well as well, the Swans. Credit to them. It was just the conditions were crazy. It was one of the sloppiest games of footy I've ever seen.
Oh, sloppy. Yeah, it was.
It was 37 degrees apparently.
But just muggy.
And when the sun was out for the first half and the players were just sweating, like the ball was a slippery gypsy and they just couldn't get hold of it. Just kept on. It was slippery as a newborn calf, and she was like a slippery eel. And you just kept on trying to get hold of it, and try to kick it, and she's just slipping off the boots. And the boys were just drenched. I saw Harris Andrews back, and he looked like he'd just been in a swimming pool. I was like, what? It's only the first quarter, Harris. What's going on?
Oh, maybe he's just a bit soft,
But no, it's crazy. It's 37 degrees out there, and the boys obviously have serious warm-ups in the AFL. And so, I don't think they were ready for it when they got out there in the sun and just cooked them for a bit, but actually caught up, and then the sun went behind.
You enjoyed seeing on this weekend's game? Had any debutants?
Debutants for the Lions. We had Levi Ashcroft.
Yeah, that's
he's looking pretty good. Son. Yeah, he's looking not too bad, mate. I don't want to hype him up too much at this point, but he's able to get his hands on the ball, which is a good sign. I think he's got a ways to go with his disposal and his options, like his decision making.
Blood in pretty easy there.
But his older brother's got a similar game style, and they probably they're good clearance players, but they just need to clean up their disposal and make better choices, and that comes with experience, comes with time.
Don't we all need to make better choices?
Yeah.
So Dan, what do you think about the game?
Oh, look, I was very busily watching it while I was at a party, and I was enjoying the footy very much because the party was shit. And it was enjoyable to see Bailey just pop up and kick 4, straight away, start the season with a bang. And, Zorko's happy for the old boy. Surprised to see him not rock up to the game in a wheelchair, but he obviously was feeling all right for being an old boy. But good old Zorko for going around again. And, Dunkley as well had a huge one, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
His trademark 10 tackles.
Yeah, he's just so huge inside. I feel like if you're going to role model yourself on someone, just make yourself Dunkley. Because Neil, where was he on the day? What a handful of posies.
You got to stop talking away from the mic. You got to talk into the mic.
Covered well.
Stop telling me how to talk, because no one tells me how to play.
You got to get better.
Yeah, but it's all right. People don't need to hear what I'm saying.
No, they do if you're doing a podcast. See, that's the thing. That's the whole point of a podcast, mate.
No, actually, I forgot that I'm sitting in a different room from Steeler. But for some reason, I thought he was sitting next to me. But when I was watching the game, the other thing that stuck out to me a lot is just Sydney's endeavour and their 4-quarter effort there, and how big an effort was for Brisbane to win, because they had injuries. The sub went down straight away. Who was it? Kyle Loman.
Yeah,
He went out, and they just had all sorts of issues on the day, Brizzy. Didn't really go smooth for them. So to pinch it, I feel they pinched it. Hats off to them for a non-stop effort, four-quarter effort as well.
Yeah,
Because
no,
the Swans aren't playing bad footy at the moment.
no,
I don't reckon. They've played Hawthorn, and they really did play right. And then on the weekend they get Brizzy and they played pretty good. So yeah, don't write them off.
Sorry, how many losses though? Out of how many games?
Two from two. But they're playing alright footy. So it's just interesting to watch. There's 2 losses. It kills your mojo. So it definitely doesn't help. You know, I like to compare it to kind of missing a short part, but you hit a couple of nice shots down the fairway. So you're still playing good golf, but then you miss the short part and you end up with a bogey, and it's just a shithole anyway.
Yeah, I like to look at it as in they're not playing all right, because if you're all right with your team losing, then you're a bitch.
Yeah,
All right, moving on to the next game.
Yeah.
Footscray versus North Melbourne at Marvel Stadium. Footscray 17-11, 113 to North Melbourne 14-13, 97. It was Footscray by 16 points. Daniel, this was really close, wasn't it?
This was one hell of a game, because I thought North, again, I've got the tip wrong, so I'm shattered.
Yeah, I went North as well.
Really backed him in, and Doggies just got off to a flyer, and that was the game. They really set it up early, and kudos to the Doggies there. They played ripper footy, and North were just never a shot.
No, I wouldn't say that. They were very close all throughout.
No, but they were always at arm's length. I reckon the Doggies had them nicely.
Some very fucking short arms. Let's
That's without me checking stats, but I just felt like from watching it.
They fought back a bit.
Yeah, see, the Dogs are up the whole day.
Yeah, they're up the whole day, but not by that much.
Mid-20s. Yeah, but it was just that comfortable 3 to 4 goals all day.
2
back
to 3.
To 2, back
2
out
to 3
to 3.
Yeah.
Last quarter, teetering on 20 the whole way.
Hey, Clarko's on watch. Clarko's definitely on watch, but it was good to see North fight back. You know, they at least put in a decent score.
Yeah.
It's hard to get judged this early.
Last game, I mean, I expected more from North. Honestly, I think
there's still a big question mark on the Doggies for me,
16 points down against Doggies.
We'll have to see next week how the Doggies go to really get a gauge for the form.
Yeah. No, good. Well,
it's 11-11. Make a wish.
North could come back next week and have an alright game. Because, come on, Doggies are a pretty good side most of the time. For North to come within 16 points, I'm not too unhappy about that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I do agree with you, Reeves. North need to step up. It's about time.
He's on watch, Clarko.
That's why I tipped him as well. I was like, it's about time they stood up. Is this year the year?
Yeah, and I mean, to add some more salt to the wound, they had some of the top players in the game. I mean, Sherry at the moment is playing bloody good footy, so you got a good ruckman building there.
Yeah,
you got Simkin, you had Sheasel have a big day.
Lucky.
You got Parker coming in there now, and they got someone else on the weekend who debuted from experienced player. So, there's some good footy getting played there, and they're not getting the results. It's going to have to turn quickly, otherwise this year's going to look very wasted again. Just,
fair enough.
effort.
Thoughts, Steelo?
No, yeah, that's all right. I'm happy to move on from that game.
All right,
let's move on.
To the next game then. Collingwood versus Port at the MCG, Saturday Night Football. Collingwood 21-10, 136 to Port Adelaide 6-9. Nice. 45. Collingwood by 91 points. Jesus, Steelo. What a shellacking.
Yeah, they bounced back in a big way.
Yeah.
Pies, they've responded to the critics.
So, you don't think we belong here? Boom, we belong here. That's what they did.
Well, that's it. The boys looked sharper. It looks like, Craig McRae's just fixed whatever was wrong in their schedule. He's probably been working really hard up until the match last week, and this week they've just taken it a bit more easy. Just kept some legs for the match on the weekend.
Yeah.
And run it out. Maybe had some oranges at half time as well, I reckon.
Oh, what about some oranges and some lemons?
Yeah, maybe get the pickle juice in a bit early this time.
Get
Pickle
some lemons
juice
in
at
there.
lunchtime.
Oh, put the
Ham
pickle
sandwich.
Yeah.
Sandwich with the pickle.
Yeah, got to do the
I'm
pickle.
like, just a cheese and pickle sandwich if you're a veggie.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I wouldn't touch the
No,
pickle.
I'd eat that.
I would give the pickle to Reedy.
I'll throw it on the window.
Okay, good. We're on a united front. Fuck pickles. That's right. Well, Reeves, what do you think of the match?
Oh well, it was a high quality footy by Collingwood. I mean, they just absolutely tore him a new one.
I did.
And it was good to see Collingwood at the G with all their fans there just packing it out. And, didn't they put on a show for them? And it's funny how dominant you can be when you're on top in a game at home and you're just slinging the ball around. They had it on a string. And, Port have had many of those days at home themselves, but on the weekend, they just looked like a shell of a team that was meant to be playing finals this year. And a bit concerning, really, with Kenny contract all done and dusted for the end of the year to hand over. It just looks like he's done, and it just feels like something's not right about this year. And they definitely didn't look very up for the fight on the weekend, did they, Nathan?
No. It's dangerous time support. I feel like they weren't that bad last year. And they were on the rise, weren't they?
It's only a small bit that it takes in this competition to be off, and there might be a bit of complacency there, knowing that he's on the way out at the end of the year. I'm sure they're trying hard for him, but a lot of these other teams have got a lot more
gas
a
in the tank.
lot more going on.
A lot more gas in the tank, bro.
Maybe a bit more gas in the tank, yeah.
Yeah, well,
I don't know what it is. I don't know what this magic thing is.
What a bounce back by Collingwood.
In a tank. That could be it.
Yeah, what a bounce back by Collingwood. What a fall off a cliff from Port.
And Membry. Big shout out to Tim Membry. Obviously, Sainer kicking 4 goals. Black and white.
There we go. Well, we'll see how those teams shake out over the course of the year. Could be interesting,
Yeah, it looked good for my ladder predictions, that match, I reckon.
Oh, there you go. All right, it was Sunday football, the first game of the Sunday. Adelaide versus St Kilda. Adelaide 21-9, 135. St Kilda 10-12, 72. Adelaide by 63 points. Daniel.
Oh, yes. Well, welcome back to footy. Waited 6 months to see the boys run out and play a game.
And they did.
They did. It only took them 6 minutes to be out of it, too. And conceding the first couple, 3 maybe in a row. And then, it's a bit of downhill sailing from there. We never gathered. We never got down to 12 goals down at one point towards the end. And what was the margin there again?
63 points, almost 9 goals.
At least we kicked a couple.
No, over 10 goals. Sorry, my apologies.
Yes.
So, you kicked over 10 goals at least. And Adelaide, well, they were out to make a point. They weren't here to fuck spiders. They were there to make a point.
Yeah, well, they did that alright.
They put a big exclamation mark on it. Steelo.
Looking like they're going to be a strong squad this year, Adelaide. So,
you got them up high?
That's how you do it, They're coming out with a good start to the year, so see if they can follow on next week.
You got them up high on your ladder predictions?
Definitely a lot higher than last year. Yeah, I think I got them top 8. I think maybe 6th.
Yeah, I think I got them 9 or something, somewhere around there. Hopefully they... A
lot of talk around their club this year.
Yeah, there has been a fair bit. But,
they get the job done. You know, the saying is they haven't come in with massive expectations this year. They're just trying to build. They're just trying to try a few things out and
trying to build before the new team comes into the comp and takes all their picks.
yeah.
You're gonna wait a few more years till we do anything.
You can do a lot of training, but some things you just have to trial in match, make sure it's you know that you can understand it as a whole team. So you know they're getting there. They'll get there by the end of the year. Hopefully, they get a few wins.
Yeah, I'm sure Saints will get a few wins. Come on, they're not total rabble.
You can see this Premiership Cup, and we're actually still quite happy with that effort from that season, and we're still feeding off that success. And yeah, so really, we're quite happy with our cup.
There we go.
So that's why we're in no rush to win another one. We're just going to keep seeing the draft, see who comes through.
No, exactly.
Yeah, no
right,
rush.
Pause.
No rush.
Got to talk to Ryan real quick.
Yes.
I'm going to cut this out.
Don't cut Reeby's speech out. That was great.
My headphones, I can struggle to talk because I'm just echoing in my own
Yeah, I
head.
got big echo too.
It's a pain in the fucking ass.
What's wrong?
Oh, just my headphones just echo like shit in my own head.
Put the delay on your one too.
Oh, there's no code shot.
We're going to just keep going. Where's he going?
Who?
Steelo, what's he going? What's he doing?
He's right here. He's right here. What are you talking about?
Shut up, you.
He's just on my right now, not my left. Yeah, no, he's on my left.
Oh, he's stealing your chocolate. No, that's
Oh, I
fine.
got so dumb. Let's say
It's quite a wise move. Well, she great a lot.
I've been getting to it. Lots of getting smaller.
That was the whole thing.
It was very in one line, I reckon. Always fine. No, okay.
What did you have to tell Kevin?
That we'll bring him on once we get to this week's tips. Once we get
okay,
through
yeah.
this week's... Yeah.
Well, again.
Anyway, we'll move on to the next game. Well, once we're done with the chocolate.
Good chocolate. Want to try it?
No, I want you guys to finish so we can get on with the show.
Bloody good chocolate there. Sure, you don't want to try it.
Shut up. Just eat it so we can get on with the show, please.
I can come around right now.
No, don't. Don't even.
We're at, what, 15 minutes each way?
Something like that.
Nice.
It's a massive waste of time, absolutely. Yeah. Are you done with the chocolate? Oh, wait, you're still chewing.
I'm ramming a Hummer.
No.
Oh.
You've never done that for me. Alright. Done with the
No, I was
chocolate?
done. I was done with my Saints bit.
Cool. On Sunday football, it was at the MCG. It was Sunday football at the MCG. It was Melbourne versus GWS. It was Melbourne 11-8-74. GWS 11-11-77. GWS by 3 points in a surprisingly not that bad match for a Melbourne fan.
It was a wet burner.
It was very wet. That's why I thought we'd have the upper hand.
Yeah,
GWS famously not wet. But yeah. Anyway. Steelo, what do you reckon?
No, still.
Yeah, well, they are a little bit wet because they got the tsunami going. And I reckon they were soaking because it was flowing, that tsunami.
Well, 3-point win against Melbourne. That's not too good. So what do you reckon? Melbourne stepped up, or do you think GWS dropped down?
Well, I haven't seen a lot of the match. I've only seen the highlights, but it looked like...
Mate, you don't get to that.
GWS,
You just keep talking.
No, this game...
Unprofessional.
I thought it was a write-off.
Take it till you make it, bro.
Personally, I've never missed a minute of a game.
Never missed a game, Steelo. Never. Not
Oh, we
one.
never missed it.
You might as well leave the pod now.
No.
Nah, I'm sure you caught up on it through a mini essay, though.
Yeah, mate. I've definitely I've watched over the game, and yeah, it just looks like Melbourne tried to step up. They did all they could do.
Did they?
Back at the G.
Samosa.
Melbourne Footy.
They tried to step up when they had to.
No, I don't agree with that. I reckon Melbourne played pretty good, except for the last half, where they sort of let Giants back in it and sort of squandered their lead. So
They did play well, Melbourne. They played really well, actually.
Played really well in the first half.
Surprised.
And then I think after that, it was sort of like, not the best. Oh, no, it was up and down, actually.
Best Samosa we've had all year of the game.
But we got up pretty... We were up by a fair bit. We looked pretty comfortable going into that last quarter.
And then I thought you guys were going to win.
Yeah,
I actually thought, D's are rock solid here. Giants looked like the brakes are going on a bit. And then they found a couple of goals, which they always do. And they do it again, don't they?
But also, I just want to push back against Steelo's Samosa. Alright? You fucking Samosa. We had 6 debutants. We had Mayer.
Yeah.
We had... we had a number of players out. It was, not exactly our tip-top shape.
When I found out that Stephen May was out with a broken larynx, fractured larynx apparently, first thing that comes to mind, I think he might have been street fighting again.
Oh, not again.
Hopefully it wasn't with his teammates.
It was a complex larynx. Alright? It was complex.
It is very complex.
Very complex. Melbourne players always getting complex injuries. We don't talk about it.
Have to check in at the restaurants that he frequents, because, been known to get into a bit of a biffo.
No, he's a good fella. He's a good fella, mate.
You're all lying. But yeah, look, it's shellacking to Melbourne. Melbourne, raised to the challenge. Only 3 points. That's all right. That's all right in my books. I was very happy. Happy with the loss as you can be, because GWS, everybody's got them winning the flag for some reason. But with their performance against Melbourne, I don't think they're there. I don't think you can put that on them. Can't be struggling against Melbourne if you're going to win the flag. Can't be. But yeah. All right, moving on to the next game. It is Sunday football at the Optus Stadium. It is West Coast versus Gold Coast. West Coast 77-49. Gold Coast 2016 136. Gold Coast by 87 points, breaking their hoodoo reaps.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I think it was 13 games in a row on the road that they haven't won.
No, I think they won one late last year.
I thought they won one last year.
They won one late last year to break the hoodoo, but, it was still just a fluke, So it was an outlier.
Yes, maybe it was 13 up until last year's run. But, yes, and they went over in there and hammered them, didn't they? They didn't just win. They gave them a good touch-up.
They pants.
So, go to Gold Coast. Good start to the season. A little bit shaky, old Harley. And,
maybe he's not that good.
A lot of question marks coming out of this game. I mean, it was just one-way traffic, and Gold Coast really had the numbers around the ball all day. And they made it look super easy, the way they moved the ball. I mean, Witts and Anderson and Rao were just everywhere. And obviously Took Miller as well. He's just doing what he likes.
Yeah.
And, so good start to the season for the Gold Coasters.
It's a good one for them. About as good as you can hope as a Gold Coast supporter.
Yeah. I mean, it really could have gone either way.
Comments?
It was good for them to break a hoodoo early on, just a win away from home.
Yeah.
So if they keep doing that all year, they'll be dangerous.
They could.
It'd be interesting to see how strong West Coast actually going to be, though. This is the interesting bit. Was that Gold Coast being good, or was West Coast right now? So take a couple of weeks, but already we've seen, North Melbourne get done, West Coast get done, and Richmond get a win. So there's a little rat race at the bottom there between a few sides.
Yeah.
So we'll keep a close eye on that this season, down the bottom end.
No, absolutely. Well, I'm hoping it's going to be unpredictable sort of ladder this year, but this round was a little predictable. All right, well, without further ado, let's move on to the next segment. All right, and we're back, and we're joined by the fourth musketeer. He is the man-sized mountain, Ryan Wheels Fenton. How are we, sir?
G'day, fellas. How we going?
Happy New Year.
Great,
Welcome to the
great
pod,
to see ya.
2025.
Oh, it's great to be back, boys.
I'm glad you survived the cyclone.
Survived the cricket season. Survived the bloody tennis. Survived the shitty practice games no one wants to watch. Survived opening round, which is crap, and the bloody cyclone elf, boys, and I'm back.
Oh, and you're meant to have your first game in Brisbane.
Cop that
Of
elf.
course.
And you're wearing
That's
some
it.
of the merch. Nice.
Ooh, nice.
There we go.
Personally delivered up to the Gold Coast. Thank you, Nathan.
That's it. You're welcome. You're welcome, sir. You're welcome.
Good to see you,
sorry,
Will.
I've been late
Shirt,
today,
lovely
guys.
shirt.
I had a bit of difficulty trying to get this stuff sorted, so thanks for being patient.
Look, I'm glad we got you on. We had to get you on for this segment in particular because we're going into the tipping results of this week, and fuck you, Ryan Fenton. I'm saying that straight up the bat. Steelo, Reeves, I have proof that Ryan tipped nothing but all the favourites this week. And I have proof that others tipped only the favourites as well.
Oh.
Must have just been that type of round, Nathan.
So yeah, a lot of people just look at the odds and go, they're the favourites. I'm going to tip them. And
It's a
this
tactic.
week it was Ryan, Hutchie, Mickey, Alan, and Jim Bob. All five of them tipped the favourites, so they all got 8 out of 9.
Yes. Where do they? How do they pick these favourites as well? Do they go off? What do they go off? Last year's form or what?
No, they go off the odds, the betting odds,
Yeah.
and like what people think, which people think like which team's like the favourite to win. That's what they go off.
And whoever puts more money on whatever side, isn't it too?
Well, that's the gambling odds.
So-
But yes. So yeah, you're a sham. You're a fake fraudster tipper, and I'm kicking you from the pod right now. Goodbye. No.
That's no use.
But on the other hand, gotta give a shout out to the lowest score of the round. Now, just remember, all favourites pretty much won this round except for the Richmond game. That was the only upset. Julian,
Unbelievable.
who enjoyed his first place spot after the
tipped
first game
Richmond.
because he tipped Richmond.
Wow.
How
He
did
tipped
slip
Richmond
that
because he
way?
hates Carlton that much. He told me he hates Carlton that much he couldn't tip him. So he tipped Richmond. Richmond won. He got on top of the leaderboard and then
I noticed.
Great
loss
work.
after loss after loss after loss. Got 2.
Whoa.
Oh.
Wow.
But-
And he tipped Richmond.
But what's
So he
even
started-
worse is somebody got 3 and that was me. I was just one
Wow.
above him, unfortunately.
Oh, I got 4.
And then
There
bam,
we go.
you got 4.
Jeez.
So,
So that's a bit of a shake-up, because last year's ladder, that's some top form.
it was too easy last year, Reeves.
Yes.
You know, we're gonna get
Yeah,
him this
I
year.
wasn't tipping the Cats every week. That's why as well. Yeah. So, like, I know you guys have gone through the games, but like looking at it, I reckon there's at least 4 games that were 50-50. Like, really, like.
No,
Like-
that's not what the odds said. None of them said that. Sorry.
No, but I reckon just like if you go off previous games, history, you know, like I wasn't confident with Freo because they'd won the last 2 games down at Geelong. You know, Saints could have beaten the Crows if you look at ladders and shit, but then Crows beat them, flogged them last year. But
This is Cope.
yeah,
This is Cope.
Lions and Sydney, man, I was flipping a coin,
This is
and
Cope. This is Cope.
and then Melbourne and Giants, I was flipping a coin on that one too.
Nobody's
so-
flipping coins on that. I was the only one. Me and my mum were the only people that tipped Melbourne in our comp. Come on.
No one was flipping coins on that.
Even my dad swapped his tip from Melbourne to fucking GWS last week. He was like, "Oh, May's out." I was like, come on.
Good move, Rob.
Yeah, well,
That
that's a good
actually
move for him,
changed.
yeah.
That actually changed my tip. Fair income.
Yeah, well, it's unfortunate. But anyway, that's how the tipping letters shaked out. So at number 1, Mickey with his fake frauds to tip. Jim Bob
Yep.
Parker coming in second with his fake frauds to tip. Fenno, third, fake frauds to tips. Bam. Top 3, fake frauds to tips. And then good old Rob, my dad. Not a fake frauds to tip, but he's number 4, so that's pretty good. And then Hutchie, fake, also fake frauds to tip, bam, in there at 5. And Alan Fauna, fake frauds to tip, tie with Hutchie at tie 5th or whatever.
So anyone that's kind of like above 7 or 8 tips we're just fraud.
And
No, just 8. Just 8. If you got 8 and you lost the Richmond Carlton game, you tipped all the favourites and you're a fraud.
Well, Jamie definitely is running as a fraud.
Can you get your face in the picture?
With the double alias,
Maybe
Jamie Freeman. Yes. So there could be some fraud that's going on there.
There's lots of talk.
I know it's early, but some catching up to do, Daniel and Nathan.
We wanted the challenge. We thought we just put ourselves at the back of the pack a bit.
It was too easy last year.
Yeah, we want to find our way through the field, not just be at the top all year.
As long as Steelo's getting them in consistently too, he should be up and about.
Yeah, Steelo. That's a shot at you. Oh, he's not even listening. He's not even on the pod. What is he doing?
He's doing some tech stuff.
Yeah.
I'm worried to turn this Discord off because I might not be able to get back on again. I'm freaking
you'll be
out.
fine. Don't be baby.
Leave it on a week.
Another week, another password.
But also, I hit my first multi of the year on Friday night. Thank you very much. Got $28 something, and then I hit my second multi of the year, which was all the favourites in the last 8 games. So, thank God I didn't put Carlton on that list.
Suitcase full.
I won 250. It was great.
When you put that multi on, were you like, oh, I wonder if I should tip these teams?
No, because I don't tip the favourites. Do I look like a fake fraudster, bro? AFL is my life.
Yeah, absolutely. That's why you're the host of the podcast, mate.
Every game, Steelo.
It's just surprising that you got that multi, but then you didn't get the tips.
Because I went for all favourites. That's what I do. For the tips, for the bets, not for the tips. Tips. I'm putting my heart on the line. All right. For the multi, I'll go for the favourites. All right. Get that.
So it must be a cheap pen.
But anyway,
that's good. Right. I like it.
We've got some news too that Lincoln McCarthy might try and come back for September. Steelo, did you hear that one?
Yeah, I heard he's announced that he's going to go in for surgery and get it all looked after and have the intensive reco and come back just in time for September if the plan goes smoothly. So, oh man, he's just been injured too many times recently, so it's probably the best thing for him. Just get it done properly.
Sorry to change the subject, Nathan.
How fucking dare you? All right, you're lucky I didn't kick you off this pod for your fake frauds to tips. All right. All right. Well, let's move into next week's games. Daniel, could you please get your head in frame?
My head is in the frame.
What is that jacket? What is that jacket?
It's just my work jacket. It came straight from work. What?
Anyway, let's get your head in frame, please. Let's get into next week's games, or this week's tips, or next week's tips, or whatever. Let's just do our tips, shall we? So, Thursday night football. At the G, Carlton versus Hawthorn. Let's fire through these a bit quick, shall we? Steelo, who you got?
I've got the Hawks, mate.
Nice. Fano?
It takes you back to the 80s games, but I'm tipping the Hawkers.
Absolutely. Reeves?
Oh, definitely the Hawks.
I, too, have got to be tipping the Hawks because they're the favourites. Alright. Well, look, come on. What we said about Carlton, Fuck Carlton. They're not doing well this year, all right?
It's a huge match for Carlton.
They'll bounce back, though.
I'm sure they'll get them. This could be their bounce back. Who knows? All right, next game. Friday night football at the G. Western Bulldogs versus Collingwood. Steelo, who you got?
I've got Collingwood in this one. I reckon they're good enough. They're going to get it done. Fair. The Doggies are probably going to start to lose a couple of games to the better squads, and this will be the first one, I reckon.
Yep. Wheels?
Yeah, looking at this, I would have picked probably the Doggies if it was at Marvel, but being at the G, Doggies giving away their home game, and too many injuries for the Doggies at the moment, so tipping the Pies.
Reedy, what you got?
Yeah, I think I'll just be following Wheels early here and just shadow him in his tips. And stick with the Pies.
Yeah, fair. Well, 2 for 2 so far. All right, Saturday football. Oh, I'm going Pies as well.
Oh, yeah. Ooh.
Essendon versus Adelaide at the G. Steelo.
I reckon this is going to be probably match of the round, in my opinion. It'll be such a close match.
Think Essendon got to rise to the challenge?
Yeah, definitely. I think they match up well. Two younger squads with a lot of pace and pretty good ball use, and just really realising their true structures. So Essendon will give it a red hot crack, but probably tipping Adelaide by a couple goals. But yeah, it's going to be a very close match. I expect this to be probably match of the round. But yeah, wouldn't be surprised if it's a super close match, like one goal.
Yeah. Oh, fair enough. Fano, what have you got?
Well, apparently Big Tex isn't even in the best of the squad at the moment, but that's all right. I'm going to go Essendon because I still reckon that the Crows haven't proven they can travel anywhere in the last 48 months. So Essendon for me, mate.
Reeves?
Yes, I believe I'll be going for Adelaide. Very similar to Wheels' reasons there, and don't see any reason to shake my tag on Wheels' tips at the moment.
I too will be going Adelaide.
Close tag.
Essendon, I think they got some hard miles ahead of them. And yeah, as you said, Adelaide do travel real well, so it's not even really a factor that they're not playing at home.
I like Adelaide at the moment.
I think a lot of people do, especially after that performance on the weekend. Oof, Jesus.
Oh, special performance by them.
Absolutely.
They definitely haven't proven themselves yet.
Hey, shut your mouth. All right, next game.
High quality opposition they dismantled on the weekend. And
That's, if you say so. Saturday football at Adelaide Oval. It is Port Adelaide versus Richmond. Steelo. Port Adelaide versus Richmond, third place.
And it's hard after what we've seen Richmond can do, but I would normally tip Port, so I think I'm going to have to stick with Port. Where's this being played, sorry?
Adelaide Oval. Port home.
Yeah, we'll give Port the advantage just on that factor.
Wheels.
Yeah, historically, the Tigers do normally win round one against the Blues, so don't get too excited. And I think Kenny would have gave the boys a bit of a shake-up this week after that performance, so I'm going Port Adelaide.
To bounce. Yeah, look, it's hard not to see Port bouncing back. Oh. Richmond at the moment, you're just exciting to watch it on the park, I think, with the youngsters. And I have to get Port the nod.
Oh, I don't know. Maybe I said Richmond.
I'm going to have to do Port as well.
It's a brave tip when you go Richmond.
And last week was a fluke, as far as I'm concerned. And it was speaks more to how bad Carlton is, more than how good Richmond is. I do believe that.
It's true.
Moving on to the next game. Saturday night football at Marvel Stadium. St Kilda versus the Cats. This might be a bit of a break in the tips. Steelo, who have you got?
Oh, I got the Cats here, mate. So, yeah, I'm going to have to back the Cats in here.
Yeah. Brian?
Yeah, well, being at Marvel, the actual Saints have the wood over us at that arena for the last couple of years. So with their leg speed and slingshot footy, I'm going to tip the Sainers.
Oh, here we go.
Oh,
Reeves, who have you got?
Well, we'll just see it coming, and I'm gonna tip the Cats. I just see them playing great footy at the moment, and I am kind of desperate to get the tips back on the wagon, and I'm pretty sure Wheels might do a late minute change.
He will.
Just to tag me on my tips.
Yes, St Kilda aren't the favourites. He's not going to stick with that tip.
Remember last year I was like one of the only people that picked the Sainers against the Cats and got up.
You tipped against Cats all the time, though.
I think this was maybe a good opportunity to make some money as well if you want to throw $1,000 on the Cats, because they're paying $1.25. I noticed, and it's pretty easy money, I think.
Yeah, drop $1,000 on it, you'll get it back for sure.
Yeah.
$250 back.
Hey,
That's it.
Instead of a risky grand.
Days
It's
work.
not that risky. It's pretty certain. It's money in the bank. Stars in the bars.
Absolutely.
I'm gonna have to go Geelong. I'm sorry, Reeby. Geelong are just too powerful.
Don't be sorry to me. Be sorry to Wheels.
I'm
He
sorry,
won't get the tip.
Your football
I'll get
team's
the
too
tip.
powerful.
I'll be happy.
I need to start evening up the comp a bit.
All right, Sunday football at the Gabba. Brisbane versus West Coast. Oof, should I even ask you, Steelo?
Yeah, this one, the odds aren't as favourable.
No.
Unless you want to get on West Coast for $12 or something like that.
Put $1,000 on Brisbane, you win $40.
Yeah, no.
That's worth it.
Well, yeah, exactly. It's a lock. Surely the Lions can get this one done. I mean, who's going to step up? Maybe we'll trial some things. Hopefully Sam Day comes back into the squad and we'll get to see him play and see if we can see him, what it looks like with him in the structure.
That's it. Wheels.
Mate, Lions by 60 points plus for me.
Reeves.
Yeah, I'm thinking with this game, you could put your 1,000 on Brizzy, get your $40, and then put the $40 on the Saints. So that at least then you're not expending $1,000 on the Saints and they can lose. But if they win, then you're winning like a couple $100. Oh, just winning everywhere.
Except for the Saints have got to win.
Yeah, but that goes back to my tip. Means Brizzy, because I'm saying if you put
Yeah. No, I see what you mean.
Brisbane.
I'm not that crazy.
No.
Just hope no one gets injured in these types of
Yeah, a
matches.
little bit crazy.
Yeah.
Put your 375 on Brisbane, Nathan.
No, absolutely not. I'm saving that. All right, next game. North Melbourne versus Melbourne at Marvel Stadium, Sunday afternoon football. Steelo.
Oh, mate, these teams historically have good matches, and I've loved watching them as a kid, growing up with a North Melbourne supporter as a friend and a Melbourne supporter as a friend. And they've been great matches historically, so I'm looking forward to another one. Hopefully North Melbourne can step up to the plate and bring their best footy, answer some critics, and just have a tight match. Might even head down there myself, just have a bit of a boat peep. And
should go with him here.
Yeah, should go down there, have a souvlaki or mushroom or whatever.
Old cheese platter.
Yeah.
Some cheese and wine. Wheels. Wait.
But I haven't given my tips.
Yeah.
So,
so you talk about wheels and cheese, and it's just like, bro, just come on.
But yeah, I think I'll have to get on the friend train here and go with the D's.
Oh, Friend train making its first appearance in 2025.
It's a tight call though because I just tipped the Roos last week to beat the Doggies. Yeah. So I'm thinking it's high regards that I'm holding your team in there, Mr. Nathan.
Like they performed pretty well last week, so it's sort of like they should get up against the Roos. So anyway, Wheels, who have you got?
Yeah, a couple of things. Nathan will be back.
I don't know. Will he? Larynx.
I don't know.
How long does that even take? Like, surely it wouldn't even take.
They said couple weeks.
Couple weeks. There you go.
Yeah.
And what are the D's normally like at Marvel, mate?
Fine.
It's tough
I'm
one.
going to go D's, but I reckon it's going to be a pretty close one.
Okay.
Very close.
Taylor will be on the edge of the seat, Steelo.
You tagging Fenno in this one, Reeves?
Yeah, I'm thinking I'm going to go D's, but it's going to be a bit of a close one.
Well,
that's exactly what I said.
I tipped Melbourne against GWS, so you bet your ass I'm tipping them against North Melbourne. Bet your ass.
Yeah, I think it's hard not to tip the D's.
Yeah.
I mean, they look good against the Giants. North, they're hard to predict, aren't they?
Yeah, well.
So go D's.
They're pretty bad.
Go D's.
But this next game...
What did you guys think of the Kangas 3 new recruits? Pretty good. Last game?
Yeah, well, could have got a little bit more out of them.
Yeah.
It looked good. Looked good on paper.
Yeah.
Hey, look, they still lost, so. Anyway, let's move on to the last game of the round, and probably the closest game as far as I'm concerned. Fremantle versus Sydney at Optus Stadium, Sunday night football. Steelo.
Yeah, it should be a nice match. I reckon Sydney's got the chocolates though in this one.
Bam. Feno?
It's a tough one. You know, Freo coming back from the Cats. Can Sydney lose 3 in a row? Well, I'll get Daniel to tip this one for me.
You want me to go
Dan.
first? Oh, look, I've committed to tipping Sydney here because they've lost their first 2 games and I feel like they're due. But it's Freo at home coming off a loss, and the local media are going to be hounding them this week. So it's a bloody big game. But I just think I see Sydney getting the chockies.
Yeah, I too see Sydney getting the vegan chocolate, the
a
plant-based chocolate
game
over Dockers this week. But, yeah, it's more just because I have them up there in my ladder predictions. Freo usually underperform every year. I expect them to underperform in this game because Sydney have been pretty on point their last couple of games. But
they're going to be hungry for a win as well.
Yeah, hungry for a win.
I'll just put it out there. If Sonny Walters and Shai Bolton both play, I'm tipping Freo.
There we go.
If they both play.
All right, and the buys this week are Gold Coast and GWS, so they're not getting any game time. All right, well, that's it for our tips this week. Very similar tips. Bit disappointed in you, Ryan.
I'm trying my best, mate. All right?
Tipping the favourites is not trying your best. All right? It's called complacency.
Mate, unexpected the unexpected this week.
I expect all of it. All right, let's move on to closing thoughts. Steelo, close your thoughts.
Oh, that just has to be round 1 next year. I loved it. 9 matches. Get around it.
That's all right. Ryan, closing thoughts.
Was that forwards for last week or this week, Steelo? What was that?
I don't know what it was, man. You just keep moving.
It was a good thought.
Oh shit. Yeah, I was trying to drive home from work. I'm like, what could be my closing forwards tonight? And I thought, you know what, stuff it. If Saints win, I'm not talking to any bloody Saints supporter for the rest of the week or the week after. You can all get stuff. That's my final thoughts.
Oh, he's
Just a week?
He's just going to be talking to me in the group chat. That's it. It's just me and Hutchie. That's it.
What am I going to do a week? Oh. Hopefully the Saints win then.
All right, well, I guess that's your final thoughts. Reeves, what are your final thoughts? Can always trust you for
my
a round.
final thoughts are that if the Saints lose to Geelong this week, I'm not talking to any Geelong people all week. I'm not going to go on the page. I'm just going to have to hang my head in shame.
Well,
So
you don't go on the page enough anyway, so.
Let's hope the Saints get up just so can get the last laugh. But on saying that, I also need to go to the toilet, so I'm going to have to run and go to the toilet.
All right, farewell. All right, my closing thoughts. Reeves a prick. No. Assassin's Creed Shadows this week. Can't wait. Gonna be ripping it up on the PS5. It's gonna be a great, fun old time. Got Bert Kreischer's new stand-up special coming out this week. That's good stuff. The Machine.
The Machine.
The Machine. I know a lot of YouTubers give him a hard time these days, but I still like him, damn it. He's still funny to me. And
there's been a lot of those Assassin's Creed games, isn't there, over the years?
There's been a shitload, yes. This is the most recent one, the first one in Japan, which is meant to be a big deal, so we'll see. Should be good.
Yeah, wait. Looking forward to it. Looking forward to seeing some streaming.
Might not stream it. We'll see. Might stream it, might not. Probably won't, but we'll see. But yeah.
All right, good to see Bruce Rando back, mate.
Oh, well, you know, he'll come back when he wants to. When he wants to,
not
a bit earlier.
Barusi.
All right, well, I wanted Reedy to be here to be like, hey, we're doing D-Day this weekend. Because I want to try and tee it up before, like, the day. Not
What
just
day would you have it this weekend?
Well, it's got to be on Sunday. It's going to be the day of the game. But he's also got to respond and be like, yeah, let's do something, like, before the day of the game. So,
Freebie, it's DJ.
all right, well, that's it from us at All for Footy. And we're out.